Imagine the 12th century BC. It is a time of total darkness for the tribes of Israel. They are not conquerors anymore. They are the conquered. They live in the shadow of the Philistines, a technologically superior sea people who possess the secret of iron. While the Israelites are fighting with bronze and stones, the Philistines have metal chariots and armor. Resistance seems impossible, but then a biological weapon is born. His name is Samson. Unlike other biblical heroes, he doesn't lead an army. He doesn't give speeches. He is the army. Before he was even born, an angel appeared with a specific set of instructions, a lifetime contract known as the Nazirite vow. Rule number 1, no wine. Rule number 2, never touch a dead body. And the most important rule of all, never, ever cut his hair. As long as the hair stays long, the signal remains strong. He possesses physical strength that defies the laws of physics. He is the original superhero, a Hulk in the Bronze Age. But Samson is not a saint. He is impulsive, arrogant, and has a dangerous weakness for his enemies. His career begins not with a prayer, but with a roar. On his way to the enemy city of Timnah to chase a Philistine woman, a young lion attacks him in the vineyards. Samson has no sword, he has no shield, but the Spirit of the Lord rushes upon him. In a terrifying display of raw power, he tears the lion apart with his bare hands as if it were a young goat. He leaves the carcass and keeps walking. He doesn't know it yet, but this is just a warm-up. The anatomy of rage has begun. Samson's first act as an adult wasn't a holy war, it was a party. He went down to Timnah, deep in enemy territory, to marry a Philistine woman. This was like a resistance fighter marrying the daughter of an occupying general. During the 7-day drinking feast, surrounded by 30 Philistine companions, who were likely there to guard him as much as to celebrate, Samson got bored. He decided to play a high-stakes game. He bet them 30 fine linen garments and 30 sets of festive clothing, a small fortune in the ancient world, that they couldn't solve a riddle born from his secret encounter with the lion. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. The Philistines were stumped. For 3 days, they couldn't crack it. Furious at the prospect of losing money to this Hebrew brute, they didn't play fair. They cornered Samson's new wife. Their threat was brutal. Get the answer out of your husband, or we will burn you and your father's house to death. Under immense pressure, she turned on the waterworks. She cried on Samson's shoulder for the rest of the feast, accusing him of not loving her. Samson, the man who could tear a lion apart, had no defense against a woman's tears. On the 7th day, exhausted by her nagging, he whispered the answer. She immediately told the Philistines. Before sunset, the men smugly gave Samson the answer. What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion? Samson knew he had been played. The Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him again, not in peace but in burning fury. He didn't have 30 suits of clothes to pay his debt, so he went to the neighboring city of Ashkelon. He found 30 random Philistine men, struck them down in cold blood, stripped the clothes off their dead bodies, and brought the bloody garments back to the wedding guests. He threw the clothes at their feet, debt paid. Then, seething with anger, he left his wife behind and stormed back home. The anatomy of rage was escalating. Samson returned to Timnah, bringing a young goat as a peace offering. But the door was barred. His father-in-law had given his wife to his best man. He offered her younger sister instead. This wasn't just a domestic dispute anymore. It was war. Samson declared, "This time I have a right to get even with the Philistines. I will really hurt them." He didn't raise an army, he improvised. He caught 300 foxes. He tied them tail to tail, fastened a torch between each pair, lit the fire, and turned them loose into the standing grain of the Philistines. The fire consumed the shocks, the standing grain, the vineyards, and the olive groves. It was calculated economic terrorism. The Philistines' retaliation was brutal. They didn't hunt Samson, they burned his wife and her father to death. Samson's response was a vicious slaughter, striking them hip and thigh. He then retreated to a cave in the rock of Etam. The Philistines invaded Judah, demanding the outlaw. Then came the ultimate betrayal. 3,000 men of Judah, Samson's own people, climbed to the cave. They didn't come to fight with him. They came to arrest him. They were more afraid of their masters than they were inspired by their champion. Samson surrendered on one condition, that they wouldn't kill him themselves. They bound him with 2 new ropes and let him down. As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came shouting to meet him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. The ropes on his arms became like charred flax and dropped from his hands. He found a fresh jawbone of a donkey, still moist, heavy, and dense. He reached out his hand and took it. What followed was not a battle. It was a massacre. One man, armed only with a bone, against a legion of iron and bronze. He struck them down, wave after wave. By the time the dust settled, 1,000 men lay dead. He tossed the jawbone aside and declared, "With a donkey's jawbone I have made donkeys of them. With a donkey's jawbone I have killed 1,000 men." He was the ultimate one-man army, but he was alone, thirsty, and calling out to God not in gratitude, but in complaint. The victory was hollow. Samson went to Gaza, deep into enemy territory. The Philistines locked the city gates, planning to seize him at dawn. But at midnight, Samson rose, ripped the gates from their posts, bolts, and all, and carried them to the top of the hill facing Hebron, leaving the city defenseless and shamed. Later, in the valley of Sorek, he fell in love with a woman named Delilah. The Philistine rulers saw their chance. They offered her a fortune, 1,100 shekels of silver each, if she could discover the secret of his great strength. Delilah began her game. 3 times Samson gave her false answers. He told her his strength would fail if he were bound with fresh bowstrings, new ropes, or if his hair was woven into a loom. Each time he easily snapped the bonds like a burnt thread. How can you say, "I love you," when your heart is not with me? Delilah nagged him day after day. Finally, sick to death of her persistence, Samson opened his heart. "No razor has ever touched my head, for I have been a Nazirite to God. If I am shaven, I will become as weak as any other man." Delilah lulled him to sleep on her lap. While he slept, a man came and shaved the 7 braids from his head. When she cried, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you," he awoke, but the Lord had departed from him. His strength was gone. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him to Gaza. The hero who once tore away city gates was now bound in bronze chains, forced to grind grain like a beast in his enemy's prison. Now the rulers of the Philistines assembled to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon their god, and to celebrate, saying, "Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy into our hands. The temple was crowded with men and women. All the rulers of the Philistines were there, and on the roof were about 3,000 men and women watching Samson perform. When they stood him among the pillars, Samson said to the servant who held his hand, "Put me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple, so that I may lean against them." Then Samson called to the Lord, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please God, strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Then Samson reached toward the 2 central pillars on which the temple stood. Bracing himself against them, his right hand on the one and his left hand on the other, Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." Then he pushed with all his might, and down came the temple on the rulers and all the people in it. Thus he killed many more when he died than while he lived. Then his brothers and his father's whole family went down to get him. They brought him back and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol in the tomb of Manoah his father. He had led Israel 20 years.